AMD is up 142% this year. It fell 18% in July. Tonight, after the close, it reports earnings, and the entire chip trade finds out which of those two stories wins. In the next 5 minutes, the full run, the peak, July's damage, exactly what Wall Street expects tonight. And the three things that will decide the verdict. Every number from real closing data. First, the run. AMD started the year around $214. Today it trades at $519, up 142.7% year-to-date, one of the best big-cap runs of 2026. Here's the whole year on one chart. The relentless climb through spring, the all-time high of $580.91 on June 30th, and then July's wobble. Notice the shape, months of steady accumulation, then 6 weeks of doubt. Charts like this are really arguments, and tonight, one side wins. Think of the year in 3 chapters. Chapter 1, a relentless climb through spring as the AI build-out got priced in. Chapter 2, the June 30th peak at 580. Chapter 3, July's sector-wide unwind. Tonight opens Chapter 4, and that wobble was real. AMD fell 18% in July alone as the entire semiconductor trade unwound. It wasn't alone, Micron and Intel fell even harder, but a fifth of AMD's value went with it. Where does that leave the stock tonight? 10.5% below the all-time high, having clawed back part of July's damage on the way into the report. Now the expectations. Wall Street's consensus, $1.61 of earnings per share. And here's what's striking. The range runs just 148 to 174. The street thinks it knows this company cold. Same story on revenue. 11.3 billion expected, inside a band of only 11.1 to 11.6. A narrow target. That narrowness cuts both ways. When every analyst clusters on the same number, a small beat feels priced in, and a small miss feels like a betrayal. Compare SpaceX reporting the very same night with a $2.7 billion revenue spread. Two opposite kinds of earnings risk on one calendar date. The fundamentals under it all, $37.5 billion of trailing revenue and $3.05 of trailing earnings per share. AMD makes real money. The question has never been profit. It's growth versus what's already priced in. And what's priced in is a lot. $519 against $3 of trailing earnings is roughly a 170 multiple. High multiples don't price good quarters. They price perfect ones. The stakes go beyond one stock. AMD is the first of the big chip names to report since July's unwind cracked the group. Micron lost 29% that month, Intel 35%. Tonight's tone will move the whole sector. So, 3 things to watch. 1. Revenue against that 11.1 to 11.6 billion band. Clearing it says the AI demand story holds. Missing it, even slightly, reopens July's argument. For context, July's chip scoreboard. Intel lost 35% that month. Micron 29, AMD 18. That's the wreckage tonight's report either repairs or confirms. 2. Earnings against 161. At a 170 multiple, the market grades on a curve, and it is a hard curve. 3. The commentary. The numbers settle the quarter, but the call settles the multiple. What management says about where demand goes next will matter as much as what they report. And remember what this market just taught us. 2 weeks ago, Alphabet beat its numbers and fell 7% anyway. Tesla missed and lost 14.5% in a day. The print is only half the verdict. Expectations are the other half. A quick decode before the verdict. A trailing price-to-earnings ratio grades the past, but the market pays for the future. A 170 trailing multiple is really a bet that earnings will grow into it. Fast. What tonight tests is the pace. The scorecard one more time. Expected earnings 161 in a tight band. Expected revenue 11.3 billion in a tighter one. The stock up 142 on the year, 10% off its high. One thing to know, a 170 multiple doesn't price good news. It prices perfect news. The higher the expectations, the harder the grading curve. Tonight, AMD gets graded. The verdict lands after the close. And tomorrow's daily recap will carry the real numbers, whatever they say. If you want the other half of tonight's story, the SpaceX first earnings preview is on the channel now. Prices from Yahoo Finance. Not advice, just the tape.